In a land far away lived a little girl with her mother in a house near the forest. Her name was Little Red Riding Hood. She was sweet and loved by everyone in the village.
The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round.
One day, her mother gave her a basket full of food and told her, "Take this basket to your grandmother. She is ill and weak, and don't talk to strangers on the way." Little Red Riding Hood took the basket and went to her grandmother's house. Halfway there, she ran into a wolf. She didn't know what animal he was and wasn't afraid of him at all. The wolf asked her, "Where are you heading, little girl?" "To my grandmother's," she replied. "And what do you have in this basket?" "Some food and an apple pie." The wolf cunningly smiled and told her, "Where does your grandmother live?" "She lives next to the water." Sunflowers in your Little Red Riding Hood loved the idea and asked the wolf, "Do you know where I can find the flowers?" The wolf showed her the road and she started. The wolf showed her the road and she started picking up the most beautiful flowers for her grandmother. Meanwhile, the wolf ran straight to the grandmother's house and knocked on the door. "Good morning, grandmother. I'm Little Red Riding Hood," said the wolf. "Open the door, grandmother. I have brought you some food." "Lift the latch, my dear," called out the grandmother. "I'm too weak and can't get up."
All through the town, the mommies on the bus go.
The wolf went in and went straight to the grandmother's bed, and without saying a word, he locked her up in the closet, then put on her cap, dressed in her clothes, and laid on her bed. The grandmother was too weak to defend herself.
The daddies on the bus go. I love you.
When Little Red Riding Hood reached the house, she was surprised to find the door open. She entered and went to her grandmother's bed and sat next to her. "Oh, grandmother," said Little Red Riding Hood surprisingly, "what big ears you have." "The better to hear you with, my child," was the reply. "But grandmother, what big eyes you have," she said. "The better to eat you with, my dear," growled the wolf and pounced on her. Little Red Riding Hood screamed and tried to escape from the wolf. A woodcutter in the forest heard her screaming and came running to help her.
The woodcutter took his axe and hit the wolf strongly that he fainted and threw him in the river, and he was never seen again after that. The woodcutter took his axe and hit the wolf strongly that he fainted and threw him in the river, and he was never seen again after that. The man rescued the grandmother from the closet. She was so happy to see her granddaughter Little Red Riding Hood and hugged her, and they all sat at the table and ate the apple pie. As for Little Red Riding Hood, she had learned her lesson and promised her mother and her grandmother never to speak to strangers ever again.